Comedy Jonah. Hi.
Hi.
Sorry we're a few minutes late. We all got stuck at this festival.
I was stuck at my own dire fest, and
It was.
I was dying. And yes,
Yes, that's where we were. Well, look, I know that nobody cares just about hearing about us and our festivals, and they want to hear from our guest, and we want to talk to her because we love her. But first, let me let you all guys know, wherever you're watching this, make sure you follow, like, and subscribe. Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. It's the best ways to help support our shows, as is sharing them. Tell a friend, put it in a Facebook group. Sharing is caring, and we appreciate it. Of course, you guys can tweet us at any time using hashtag YRRLive. And if you want to see the past 10 years of our shows, check out our website, yourrealityrecaps.com. That being said, so excited to announce our special guest, our good friend, the lady of the hour who we love. It's Azah!
woohoo!
Yay!
Hey.
How are you doing, Azah? How's your night?
Oh, I'm doing so good. I'm doing so good. I apologize. I was late myself. I was lollygagging, but I could not, of course, I had to be here for this, and I did not want to be late, but I am. But I'm here, so I'm
You're
so
here.
happy to be here.
That's what's important. You're here.
Azah, that is what is important, that you are here. And look, I was taking the blame for you, Azah. I said we were late. You didn't have to reveal that secret.
Uh,
This is why you were so bad at Big Brother. Are you looking at Twitter? Oh my God, Azah.
I know. There's the thing. Like, I think people just expect me to, like, quote Bible verses, sit pretty and cook. And then
No.
when I change my thoughts on the game, they get mad and they forget that I'm African. And if I think I'm right, I'm gonna argue back with you. So yeah, yeah.
I am not African, and I will argue back with you also. And don't come for Azah in a tweet about my show. I will block you.
This is true. I'm gonna argue, especially if I feel I'm right, and I am right.
We are. We are all right. We are all allowed. I think, I saw a little bit about what you said, and I think it is so true. I think if everybody just looks at the game unemotionally, it makes it so
Right.
much easier to deal with in the end. And no matter what, I think the biggest thing that we never understand is, you guys will always have a different relationship than we'll all understand. You all will never not like each other in the way that we all want you to not like each other. And the things that happen are between you guys, and it's not our business.
I agree.
It's not. Yeah.
I agree. And another point is, what people don't know, a lot of people think I'm a recruit. No, I was just like everyone on Twitter. I was a Redditor. I was on Lipstick Alley. And I had such strong opinions on the game. And then I played the game, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so much harder than I thought. And from playing the game, that's when I understood different perspectives. Playing the game as a very handsome comp beast, like a Kylan or an X, is different from playing the game as someone like me who realized I cannot win comps. And we have to understand perspectives. I do not condone anything that Terrence and Kylan are saying, but Terrence is somebody, as the person that he is, who's, okay, I'm not going to mention on his looks, but he's not a Kylan or an X, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a different perspective. And I have to, me playing the game and seeing the strong opinions that people had on me has made me understand so many perspectives, and seeing that, okay, from his perspective, I can understand. And I also realize I have a little bit more empathy than a lot of people. So I can view things a little bit differently. I can view things objectively. But you know what? At the end of the day, there's a reason why this season is in this 24th season.
Or-
Yeah, because we get emotionally connected to the players. We feel like we relate to them. We love them. We are them. And it does make it a bit difficult for us to see other perspectives. So on that front, I'm going to understand that and be able to kind of talk to fans and people who are fans of the game that way.
Right. I think the best piece of advice, and I'm sure John feels the same exact way, that I learned, and now I live by it, and it's other people's opinions are none of my business.
That's
Yeah.
true.
There's a wise saying that I go by all the time. Stay in your lane. We all got our lane. We got to stay in our
Right.
lane. Everyone's got their own journey of learning and all this stuff. So I
Yeah.
just stay in my lane. I don't want to detour anybody's journey, anybody's path. Just I
Yeah.
stay in my own lane. If you need help, reach out to me. But I'm not going to think, oh, you need help and I'm going to help and you don't even need it, right? So stay in my lane. You do you, I do me. You need help, you reach out.
I
That
love
being said, I'm behind John in the lane going, "Get out of the way, John, for the love of God. Why is your signal on?
It's a
Turn it
slow
off. You're
lane,
not
but
merging."
I'll get there eventually. I'm in the slow lane. Just kidding.
I will get there eventually. Yeah. So, it is. I also want to say congratulations to you, being on the challenge. I know we haven't talked to you since
Yeah.
that. Did you love that experience?
Oh my gosh, I absolutely love that experience. More than Big Brother, actually. In my opinion,
Really?
yeah. Oh yeah.
But
So
Kyle was there. I mean, Kylan was there.
I know, and you're so funny. Well, one thing is Kylan. I mean, he helped me. So he helped me in a lot of
Yeah.
ways. The first episode. But what I loved about the challenge is, I will say this to the day I die. Big Brother, in my opinion, is the hardest reality television show to ever be in. Not only does it give the least pay, just saying, but it also gives you your 85 days isolated and you have nobody else. And everybody comes in unknown and then comes out millions of people having very, very, very strong opinions on you and what you've done. And as someone who's not like people who don't know what quote unquote fame looks like, or millions of people or thousands of people having opinions on you, it can be very hard. And that isolation, they know exactly what they're doing. It's hard. And that's what allows people like me who are super fans and who think I'm going to do this and this and come in that place with nothing else. You start making different decisions. You start doing what your true self is. And, but the challenge was a little bit different in the sense that I got to talk to my family once a week. That's amazing. I
Yeah.
got to go out twice a week and see Argentina, go to the bars, go to this and that. I wasn't talking to just a camera. I was talking to people. And that's what made the experience so much more different and so fun. It felt like summer camp, the challenge. Even though the
And
challenges were much harder, it was so fun.
yeah, and no live feeds too. Like you're not being filmed 24/7.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. For people to catch the flaws that you undoubtedly have. No one on this earth
We
is
all
perfect.
have them. We all have them. Yeah.
Exactly. So I loved it. If I got asked back, I would do it in a heartbeat. I had so much fun. The challenge might have kicked my ass. Sorry for cussing, but
We cuss all the time.
okay. Well, it kicked my ass. Okay,
Cuss all the time.
but I loved it. I loved it so much. I loved like the transparency in the gameplay. I loved not being so isolated. It was so much of a fun experience for me, and I would absolutely do it again.
Yeah, I don't blame you at all. Definitely for the money and for that you can talk to your family 100%.
And go out. And go out in Argentina. Hello.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
To experience in a whole new country.
100%. I think people are crazy if they say Big Brother is not the hardest competition show. I don't for a second think Survivor is harder than Big Brother at all.
I agree. You might be starving, but you only have 25 days. We have 3 times more than that. More than 3 times.
Yeah.
Well, and now to bring it back to tonight's Big Brother, I'll say this cast is going to be able to give us a little bit of their opinion on that, roughing it outside over on Dire Fest.
Bruh. Yo, okay, is this offensive if I say? I mean, I find it very interesting that they just created Skid Row outside.
Oh yeah. Well, not.
Well,
I
you
wouldn't
guys-
say. Go ahead, John.
But you guys know about the Fry Festival, right? When those guys sold all those tickets and everybody flew in and they were in those tents, remember, Azah? And then they were eating like those horrible cheese sandwiches. Remember that was all over? So that Die Fest is a play off that.
I think so. The Fire Festival. Yo,
The
that's
Fire Festival, the Dire Festival. That's what this is a play off of. But the Die Festival is still like 80 times better than what the Fry Festival was, because at least in Big Brother, you have a kitchenette. Yeah, they're complaining, oh, it's tiny, but they have it. You have running water. Like they didn't at the Fry Festival. They were on like some peninsula, I think.
Why do I
and
feel
they're
like
stranded.
Azah was one of the victims? She is really, really reacting strongly. Did you buy a ticket, Azah?
I'm not gonna lie. I saw the ads.
Yeah.
And I was very tempted. Like, I definitely sent a group message to my friends, like, yo, we gotta go to this. And it just happened that 3 out of the 5 people said no, so I didn't. But that would have definitely been me, which is what makes it. And I watched the documentary, which was fascinating, by the way. It was so fascinating. I mean, the American cheese sandwiches, it was a lot.
Oh, it was awful. Awful.
I think, and I don't know if this is offensive, but what really bothered me was that the feeds were down for 15 hours to put up a pop-up tent and roll 2 craft service carts into the yard. What's that about?
I know. And at the end of the day, this is how I feel. I had felt this way before Big Brother. I felt this way after. But, like, I would love to have a game that's untouched. Like, I just want to see, like, an untouched game. I want to see I want to see your true self. I understand, yes. But the thing is, these people are going to get canceled anyway. I want to see your true self without their twist, without this, without that.
Right.
I want to see you play the actual game. And I do feel that this season, I've tweeted about it before too, I consider twist production interference. And even me, myself, who has spoken out about colorism, who is a Team Taylor 100%, there's been a lot of production interference from the beginning of the game to now. And it's become very just annoying, in my opinion, to watch. I've never liked twists. Interestingly enough, before 23, I consider twists more powers. They were they were always giving people powers. And now it just seems to be more, let's just mess stuff up. And I just want to see people play. I want to see, like, I find this show so fascinating, seeing the relationships move and see things shift in the house. And when you have this stuff kind of just meddle in, it's just like, I'm just like, come on, guys. Like, it's obvious that you guys have some type of agenda. And I just want to see these people play. I want to see, you picked them. So let's watch them play.
What do you think the agenda is this season? Do you think they want the leftovers to go far? Do you think they want Taylor to win? Do you think they want people like Kyle and Alyssa to go far?
Okay, so from my observations, just watching and from being in the house and being out, showmances do seem to do well on television. So it does seem to be that they might want to do something that won't make the showmance an obvious target. On the other hand, I do think that they do listen and see what's going on outside. So I do think, and I'm in an effect, I'm happy that it looks like public outcry makes an effect, but it looks like when the public really spoke out about Taylor, it seems like, okay, they started kind of doing some things, But in my opinion, I've gotten tweets that people think that the stuff that was like the things like the Russian roulette and like the high rollers room. People think the high rollers room helped the cookout game, and it didn't. And like I think it was an effort of production to stop a steamroll from happening, but we managed to navigate through that. And it seems like production wants to stop a steamroll from happening this year too. But I'm gonna say this: I find it interesting that they want to stop this steamroll, but they had a steamroll opportunity in season 22. They had a steamroll opportunity in season 21 that instead the powers helped. They had a season opportunity in season 20 with L6. And I'm not going to lie, it's very interesting that it seems last season and this season, they had production interference to kind of dismantle those steamrolls instead of helping them along, which it seems to have been the trend up until last season, which all I can do is say, too.
Right. Yeah. Well, first, when you were like in the high rollers room, did you see the look of panic over my face when I went, did I just miss a whole entire thing that happened? Then I went, oh, you're Steve in the high rollers room. I was like, wait, what? I can't remember yesterday. No, 100%. I mean, I think people are going to argue both sides either way. I will say people just love to argue Big Brother, so they can argue it either way. 100% whether they were trying to stop the cookout or not, it didn't matter, because what made the cookout amazing on your season was nothing was going to stop you. You all put the cause and what you stood for above that game. They could have shot fire into the house, and I think you all would have been like, all right, stop, drop, and roll, wet some blanket. Like, it didn't matter. They couldn't do anything to you, so it doesn't matter.
And I think even if they divided the house on your season, the cookout would have stayed.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. And you guys know I could not stand Kylan in the house, but if there was some type of split in the house and it was Kylan, me, let's say Kylan, me, SB, Tiffany, and Hannah were on one side.
Right.
And we all would have been looking at him like, bruh, you gonna real do that? You gonna do that? Or you gonna do what you need to do? And I think he would have still taken SB out. As much as we stand each other.
I was just laughing because I was just thinking about all the HOH conversations when Kylan was those long conversations and people's faces just like, oh my gosh.
I was just thinking about when Kylan tried to take out Sarah Beth with the curling iron. So there's also that. Yeah, well, you know who can ruin a steamroll and has no respect for his alliance? Kyle.
Yeah.
I mean, way to throw everyone under the bus when you're not in jeopardy. Like, it still, to me, makes no sense this week why essentially what Kyle did was go, there's no reason that I'm gonna be targeted. I offered myself up and I made a stupid mistake. I know I have the numbers on my side and really nothing could affect me, but you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna sell out. I'm gonna sell out my whole alliance.
Yeah.
Your strong alliance too, which was tough. I think after he told Alyssa, like, she's gonna tell Terrence she's not in the alliance.
I think
So he had to come clean at that point, but he shouldn't even told Alyssa because we know what he's thinking with, right? It's
I
right in
agree.
there. Yeah.
I remember in the beginning of the game, he seemed to be very I'm gonna do a precursor of this. I try not to speak negatively on house guests. That being said, I gotta say this. I'm sorry, yo. I gotta.
Well,
but like,
I'll just say, okay, go ahead.
Well, in the beginning, it seemed like he still was, for his alliance. But there's something very powerful that I got. Okay, the power of the pussy. All right.
Well, she was worried about cussing a minute ago.
I know.
Now we're talking about the pussy.
No, we have to be, but like, this is my thing. Sorry about that. We have to be honest with ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, we get so mad at these players and all these things, but guess what? In real life, I like men, okay? And there have been men who've been able to just exactly. It can have an effect on you. And it just seems like it had an effect on Kyle. This is completely separate from my opinions on his behavior, on the things that he has stated and said that I do not agree with in the least at all. And I will be happy to say those things to him if I saw him face to face. Now, looking in a house, when you got that,
and you're isolated too. You're isolated. And you got the power of the pussy. You're isolated. There's nothing to do except.
Yes. And I say that, but I say that to let everyone know, like, please, like, think about it in his shoes. Like, think about it when you're isolated. Think about when all these things, who knows what you might do. I had a crush on X, and I mean, people feel like I did things for gameplay. I still think I was able to separate both, but guess what I didn't get? I ain't getting no dick. If I got some dick, it might have been different, okay?
We know that's powerful too.
Yeah. I mean, here's what I'll say. I think that, you don't have to talk negatively about people and you can talk about his game.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I think I'm very objective over the moves people make in the game. I can't respect this move Kyle made because there was no reason
No
to make
reason.
it.
No reason.
He
Yeah.
he had Alyssa and Turner. There's 5 people.
Yeah.
You have 2 built-in votes.
Yeah.
You're fine.
And
He-
I think because I've been looking objectively too. Objectively, this was not the right move for Kyle. And I
No.
say this, I've been looking objectively, it was not at all.
Game wise,
I can
Yeah.
see why he would make it, only if that was the power, but absolutely objectively not the right game move. Like I don't like. I think the right option for him was to remain loyal. I guess paranoid got in the way. I guess that got in the way. But I want to make sure. And people seem to be like they get confused. They think that I'm defending this or whatever. I'm just seeing, okay, oh, he made a move probably because of that, But
Right.
I have that's separate from the game. Game wise, I don't think it's the right move for him. I don't think he was really the person who was. People were instead very, very worried about Taylor and Joseph rather than him. I think if he was on a block, I don't think he would have gone home. Like I think this is not a good move for him, and I think this HOH is going to benefit Terrence the most of everything.
Yeah.
In my opinion, yeah.
well, I see this. I mean, he's got his alliance, but you know what? He's on the, and I'm Native American, so I can say this. He's in the bottom of the totem pole, right? In his alliance. So when his alliance doesn't make it, he's going to be one of the first ones, right, as far as the pecking order, right? So I think we got a lot of things going on here. We got outside. We got the power of the pussy. We don't want to lose the pussy. So what can we do to
He
turn
wasn't in
this around
jeopardy.
and maybe break up his alliance and go, okay, now we can all be kind of an alliance, but they don't have the numbers. So his head isn't clear,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
it was a bad game move
Yeah.
if it was just a game, but there's a lot going
Okay.
There's a
Well,
lot.
on.
number one, basically, we've already learned that, he lasts 10 seconds during sexy time. So, really, a strong wind could take care of Kyle's urges. So, I don't understand why Alyssa is needed. That's number one. Number two, you're both forgetting. Maybe you didn't know John. John doesn't watch the live feeds. They left a huge chunk out of tonight's episode, which they seem to be leaving a lot out of these episodes lately, where we know Michael went to Terrence and Kyle when they were getting ready to leave. We don't know when, during that pizza party packing. And Michael said to Terrence, while Kyle was there, if you guys take out Joseph, I will take out Monty. Let's do each other's, dirty work.
Dirty work.
And Terrence has said that has happened on the feeds, as well as Kyle. I don't know why they would make it up. And I don't know why it didn't make the edit. But then to, on the edit, see Michael being like, I'm going for Jasmine 100, and he's not even mentioning it. So is Michael playing America, which I do think you need to play the fans, and I think you need to play America. Like, is Michael, and this will not surprise me at all, if on the feeds on Wednesday night, all of a sudden Michael goes, oh God, Monty's such a big target that maybe we're dumb if we don't take him out. Like, he knows how to suppress the hate that he's very smart. I think Michael is one of the smartest people to play this game, and he kind of knows how to manipulate the fans, production, the house. I really feel like it's his game that everyone's playing.
I think Michael, I saw in the intro, Michael had an entire binder. And what people don't know is I had an Excel sheet of the best. I had an Excel sheet of every single person's game. I had an Excel sheet of the best path to win, to get to final two. I had an Excel sheet of all that stuff. And that's what stuck out to me when I saw Michael. I was like, oh, Michael got a whole binder. It wasn't Excel. I did because I work with Excel in my job. But it was a whole binder of everything, of the best paths and everything. He does seem to be very knowledgeable in that. The other thing, though, is they could have taken, I know I spoke a lot of stuff in my DRs, and maybe 10% got on the show, and honestly, of that 10%, 90% of that was me crying over Brittany or me lusting over X. So people can pick and choose what they decide to put in,
Yeah.
you know.
Mhm.
So it could be he had both, but I still have to acknowledge the fact that Michael is a super fan. Michael had an
Yeah.
entire binder of everything, and if Michael is able to put away the emotional and just play just the gamer, you know,
Yeah.
he is honest something, and he is. I'm not. I'm not. I don't want to say I'm not rooting for him. I do really like Taylor, Joseph, and Turner, but like, dang, he might be freaking playing the game, guys. And I don't know what to say. What can I say about it?
Yeah. Yeah, he might be. I see
Yeah.
a lot of people asking, talking about this in chat. So I want to, get your opinion and say, I also don't think it's your job to educate people. However, you are here. So I do want to, I do think this is a good opportunity I would love to hear what you have to say about it. So we saw Kyle, basically use the cookout as a reason why then he is going to go after or sees the other people in the house, the people of color in the house, as, oh, they're gonna do what the cookout did. And I know when you guys were in the cookout, a lot of times you did say this is gonna make it so much harder for people of color playing this game going forward. So I guess, like, what was it like for you just to see that kind of play out a little bit? And what do you want to say to people who think like Kyle?
You know, we did know that in the house. However, to see it play out, it honestly it breaks my heart. And the reason why it breaks my heart is that because I see the tweets that come after. I look at the tweets that support this, and it's like, well, why can't we have a white alliance? And it's like, you guys did.
Every white alliance, white alliance.
I mean, y'all did for years. Like, what are you talking about? You know, why can't we do this? Why? And it's just like,
Yeah.
you did. And this is my thing. What is very sad is the fact that it took us having to do that for us to have a black winner. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the fact that this show has been on for over 20 years. And it took us having to come together despite us not liking each other. I had problems with Tiffany. I had problems with Kylan. We all had problems with each other. But one thing I can't forget, as a huge fan of the show, I saw the way that Candace was treated. I saw the way that Devon was isolated. I saw the way that Black House gets time and time again, just because of the color of their skin, from implicit, subconscious biases were put to the side. And that's what made me keep on going ahead. We all, especially the women, in my opinion, were able to turn the game in our favor to win the game. But we thought about that. We did this not to benefit our game. You know what I'm saying? All of us women, first Tiffany, then Hannah, then me, would definitely have been able to benefit without the cookout. But we decided to do that because we remembered and saw these things, and we were doing that for people like Candace. We were doing that for people like Kalia. We were doing that for people like Devon. We were doing it for people like Bailey. And we did not want, we knew we needed, like, we had to do this in order to make sure that that happened. And that was the only reason. And for people to reduce it to, we're coming together because we're Black, we're coming together because of the color of our skin, it's saddening. And it makes me realize that they don't understand. And I've said this before because I have to say, I saw that same narrative in a challenge where people wanted to revenge. And what hurt me the most is I don't think people should reduce the cookout to just an alliance. It was a movement. Every single time when I'm out, if I meet someone who's a fan of the show who happens to be of the same skin tone as me, they tell me I watched this show as a little kid and I used to cry when I saw the way people like me were treated. And because of what you all did, it inspired me so much. It's so much more than just an alliance. We're more than just a level 6 or a brigade.
No,
You know?
absolutely.
And that's what breaks my heart. And the thing is, though, life experience is what makes it happen. And empathy and understanding of people's position and knowing what it's like to be at a bottom and to be ostracized. And Kyle just might not understand that, and it might take life experience for that, but it still does break my heart.
Well, what do you think about, Taylor being HOH? She did not want to put up a woman of color, yet we've seen Jasmine, just say and do the most horrible things to her. Do
Yeah.
you think what kind of movement the Cookout had, now it could be the opposite for like someone like Jasmine? I mean, are folks expecting her, okay, well, now that we have the Cookout, so all people of color should be aligned? And if not, what do you think of that whole situation?
So I
I don't
definitely
know if
think,
I'm trying to word myself right.
I mean, I look at Joseph or look at Taylor, they both watch. So from what
Yeah.
I might not know this very well, but from what I saw, Taylor saw us in 23 and then became a fan and started watching.
Mhm.
Joseph has only seen season 23, so they saw that and that's all they have to go by. So from seeing that, they were inspired, and that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I think on Jasmine's part, Jasmine is somebody who actually was considered for our season the year beforehand, and they didn't make it.
Oh.
And who knows? She might have some feelings or some. Because I know for me, I'll be very honest with you. I had told myself, like, especially after my season, I'm like, if I didn't make the season, I would be pissed. I would have been so mad because this is just like a great season to be on. Maybe she finds reasons to kind of put like, marks in us in a way.
Okay.
That might be one thing. Two, I will say this as a Black person. Um, each year, the fandom gets very upset by what happens in a house, but only in the past 2 years have we had more than 2 people in the house that are Black. So we've had 6 people last season. We have how many? 5 or 6 this season. And just as we have problems in America of racism and things, there are also problems in the Black community, like colorism, which is a big thing,
Mhm.
misogyny, which is a big thing. And what I'm starting to observe is Big Brother's always been microcosm what's happening in America. Now that we have more Black people in, you're seeing issues and problems in the Black community as well that are implicit biases. And when you have that isolation and you don't have any type of, block to kind of tell you this is wrong and this is right, your true nature comes out. And it's the true nature of your experiences and things that you might have come from and things. And I saw that within myself, playing the game. And that might be what's kind of coming out in Jasmine, because what I do know in that house is that very quickly you start to want to you start to view eviction as death. You're introduced to this entire new reality, and like you want to survive, so you're going to do anything to survive. So if it means throwing somebody on the bus, it's fine. We had that in the back every time I wanted to just turn away from the Cookout. In the back of my head was, well, look what happened this season, that what stopped me. They don't have that anymore. So if you have someone who's viewed at the bottom, which was Taylor for some time,
Mhm.
be very free to just, all right, okay, cool, as long as it's not me, you know.
I think the thing that frustrates me when it comes to Kyle is I mean I do understand, but I don't understand why he was so close or is so close to Monty, to Taylor, to the people in his alliance. I don't understand why he couldn't just go to them and say, I have these concerns. Like, I watched last season. I know we're all in an alliance. I'm afraid. Are you guys going to get together? It just seems like he was given no reason at all to think that, they were working together.
I agree.
It just, I think it's fascinating I want to be in his brain. And I know
Yeah.
it's like microaggressions and it's,
Microaggressions.
it's
Yeah,
all of that.
and he has that benefit and he has that privilege. He's a white man.
Right.
He is a white man. You are the epitome of like you got the pass, man. Like they're gonna listen to you. They're going to listen to you. They're gonna tell you you don't only have the leftovers. Taylor doesn't have the pound. You do, bruh. You have the pound. You have these things, but you're letting those things get in your head and push those away. And the other thing I'm gonna tell people is that this game, for myself and for any others, this is an opportunity of self-reflection because you're able to see yourself without any type of influence, without any type of whatever. And I do hope when Kyle gets out of this house, he watches, because I did. I saw my flaws, and I'd be happy to talk about the flaws that I had. That I'm like, okay, I could have worked on this, But you're able to see yourself without nobody. You don't got social media on you. You don't got wherever to kind of put you in check. You don't have whatever type of religious or moral biases that kind of put you in place. This is you. This is your opportunity of self-reflection, and this is what your paranoia and things have led you to kind of push yourself in this way. And I agree with you completely. Like that, he was in a great position. You're not only in an alliance, you're in a smaller part of the alliance that trusts you, man. Like, come on, God.
Yeah.
Come on.
Right. He has every reason to, and he'll come out and he will, I think it's going to be very hard for him when he comes out. I think it's hard for anybody when they come out to face
Yeah.
all of the criticism. And I think it's hard to then go, okay, I'm going to change. Like, he could have all the best intentions when he comes out. If everybody just is attacking him, and rightfully so, I think that is hard for anyone, not just Kyle in this situation, anybody who has gone through those situations in Big Brother, and
Yeah.
the whole thing is just sucks.
Azah, did you
Everyone.
watch the live feeds from your seasons as well as the episodes, JZM and YouTube?
Oh, I went back. I think I know. I can say this very freely. I'm pretty certain I watched and know I have more knowledge of my season than anybody in my cast, because I not only watched my season, I went back. The live feeds were available until maybe 2 days before the new season started.
Yeah.
I went back and watched those too. I would look back on tweets on this day, that day, and I would see what people said. So I have profound knowledge of the season. So when people try and argue with me and say stuff, when I think I speak my truth, I speak my truth. Like, I don't have any regrets. I watched everything. I saw I want to see what this person said about me. I want to see what this person said about everyone else, because I was a live feeder. I love the live feeds. That's what got me in. I used to not even watch the live shows. All I did was watch the live feeds, because that's what always like really got me and like what just resonated with me. But I went back and watched everything. Like, I watched as much as I could. I mean, up until, that's 9 months of me combing through, which kind of shows, like, do I have a life? I don't know. But
Well, just so you know, you are not alone. A lot of people don't know this. I watch back parts of your season as well, specifically Kylan's HOHs when I can't sleep. So I just would like to. I'm so kidding. I'm so kidding. I'm so kidding. I think people don't realize that I just pick one person a season, and it was Kylan last season. It's Brittany this season. People are like, I can't believe how much you hate Brittany. And I was like, I don't, but I don't want to ruin it for you. But I mean, she is a little annoying. I mean, her ability tonight to be like, I'm safe and inside, and I am upset about outside. I'm like, what are you complaining about now, Brittany? This girl complains about everything.
laugh. I can't with you.
Oh my god, I can't. And I can't. And then don't even get me started on Jasmine. Yeah, I think it's a little ridiculous that they didn't show that plan making.
Yeah.
I mean, and now we know there might be wall yellers, which is why we haven't seen outside. The feeds were not on from like 8 p.m. last night until like 11 a.m. this morning Eastern. Then they came on for 2 minutes to enrage me with Taylor again when she's like, oh yeah, okay, so I'll go and confront Jasmine about girls. That'll be our justification to vote them out. And it's going to be like, Taylor, stop doing these people's dirty work. Every time someone in the leftovers comes up with a plan, it's like, who do we want to make take the fall for this? Go, Taylor. And it breaks my heart because I get it. Taylor feels so like ostracized. She wants the acceptance from this group and people in the house that I just think she goes along with it. And I just cannot wait till she comes out and Lays gives her like a brand deal and she finds out everyone loves it.
I empathize with Taylor because Taylor and Joseph, they play a fiercely loyal game. And I did too.
Yeah.
I was, people knock on my ear like, oh, why did you work with the man, blah, 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 and like, I just, they're the ones who accepted my final three. So once they accepted it, all right, I saw the shit they talked about me. I saw all that stuff. But in the back of my head, I knew that my final three was most beneficial for the both of them. So I was like, if they're logical, they're going to take me. So yeah. I understand, like, even if I'm the type of person where even if it's not really for my game, if I like this person that much and I don't mind if they win, I'm gonna go ahead and just be loyal to them if they accept me. And it makes me feel bad because I do think Taylor just plays a very fiercely loyal game. And I learned this at the house. My father, amongst many things, told me, Azah, you're very naive. And it's like most of the world doesn't think that way. They're constantly looking at ways to wherever, and they might look at Taylor as a scapegoat and say, okay, well, I can push this on her, and she doesn't know that. And I can't say much about her just because I've played the game, and who knows, I might be in her position because I know, like, if I pick a ship, even if it's sinking, I picked it, and I'm gonna go ahead and sink with that ship. But unfortunately, a lot of the world doesn't think that way.
No, and I think
Yeah.
we're learning a lot about who Taylor is. She is loyal, right? Like, in the beginning, this was horrible, but we're seeing her. But I agree with Eric. I don't want her to be overly, trying to compensate for something because she still feels a little insecure. It's like, and I think it would even be tough being so isolated, having all those twists. It would take you a lot longer to settle down, I imagine, than in reality.
And it's tough also when people have been telling you, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that.
Right.
I mean, people were like, you're this, you're this, you're this, you're this. When people did tell me, you come across aggressive, you're this, I subconsciously dialed down. And people were like, I consciously was like, all right, cool. I don't want to ruffle any feathers. I was constantly thinking, do not ruffle feathers, do not ruffle feathers, do not ruffle feathers. And I know, like, I hate to bring up myself, but I only bring up experiences that I have, whatever. But like, when amongst so many reasons why I took out Hannah, I did not take out a big threat because I felt, okay, if I take out a big threat now, I'm going to be the biggest threat unnominated for them to leave the house. Like, I was thinking, I got to still stay here so that people are going to want to work with me. And who knows if Taylor might be in that position.
Yeah.
I can understand if it's, I get where people think it's not the right way to move, but it's difficult to move in a space when you literally sneeze and people call you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess in this situation, I'm just talking about Taylor going to go to Jasmine and say, I know about girls, that's why I'm voting you out. I just feel like Taylor knows she's being backed up by Monty, maybe not really by Michael, but I just would have went like, you do it, Brittany.
I agree. And one thing I will say about Taylor is a huge, powerful currency in the game that worked for me was like, shut your mouth. Like, do not, like, just don't talk. You get information, keep it here.
Yeah.
Do not like move it forward,
Right.
wherever. That's a powerful currency. Information is a power. Use it when you need to. Don't use it when you don't. Like, when you're backed up in the corner, oh yeah, boom, say whatever you need to say. But if not, take that information and move accordingly.
Yeah.
So, Azah, we've got Jermaine King in our YouTube chat who said, tell Azah why she's prettier than fried pig's feet on a Ritz cracker traveling down the Mississippi.
I think you mean she's prettier than fried cracker on the Mississippi in the morning with the dew. A chicken wing in an air fryer.
Oh, Jermaine, that was hilarious.
I can't with you guys.
She can't. It's just better. Look, that's going to be the sad part of Jasmine going. I'm not going to be able to do those anymore.
These
I know.
metaphors, man. These metaphors are a lot. Wow.
I'm going to be sadder than a chicken on a slip and slide. I don't know why a chicken would be on a slip and slide.
I don't know why that would be so
No
sad.
idea. Why would a chicken be on a? Okay.
I don't know, but it would be sad because it has little chicken feet and it can't run and it's sliding. Sliding. I love it. Yeah, I just, sad for Jasmine. I feel Jasmine tonight being like, I did so much. See, this is where I feel like I always make it about me. But when, I basically saw the fandom go, "What did you do tonight, Jasmine?" And she's like, "I did so much to get here." And what did you do? I know what you guys all have to do to get on this show. You can say the people did nothing during the game if you want. I know everything you guys had to do to get on this show. You have to do a lot to get on the show. So I think that is, I don't really care for the way Jasmine has treated people in this game, and I'm happy to see her go. But yeah, I do. I
I don't,
understand that
and I
has to
don't
be a
think
shitty feeling.
people are when she was saying that tonight. Like even me, I was like, well, not really a whole lot of work, but I never thought about what it takes for you guys to get on this show, and I don't think the fandom is
No.
really even thinking about that too. And
Yeah.
then also too, I mean, if Jasmine's up, she has to get the votes to get out. Taylor's one of them, so Taylor didn't want to nominate a woman of color, but she's going to have to vote one out, right? Or is it going to be a tie, and then Michael breaks the tie with Brittany voting one way and Taylor voting the other way, right?
I don't think Jasmine's going. I'm telling you, I think Michael's going to have a final hour revelation and
Really?
go, "Oh, gee, gotta get out Monty."
And
Which,
do
by
you
the way, is smart for his. Well, actually, I don't.
think not?
No, it's smart for his game. If I was playing that game, regardless of anything, I would say to myself, drag Jasmine and Terrence to the end. Now, that's probably me incorrectly thinking Terrence isn't going to be able to win physical stuff, and Jasmine might be stupider than a dull pencil in a crown box. I just don't know if Jasmine is going to do. I would take the people I could beat. I personally
I feel
would
you on
really
that.
like health insurance, so
I
I
feel
don't
you on
care.
that. Like, I couldn't win comps. I didn't win a comp until Final Five.
Hmm.
I gotta give hats off to Jasmine and Taylor. They both have won HOHs, so they're not like me. You know what I'm saying? Like once I realized like I was trying my best at these comps and I was just not winning them, and that's when I was like, all right, Azah, you're not gonna be the Janelle you want to be. Like you gotta figure out how you're gonna move on. But they've won comps, and they probably think in their heads that I can still win more.
Yeah.
Um, Michael, I do think that I think Michael has a good, if Michael, like Michael got the leftover side, that's a good jury, that's a bunch of jury votes for him. And I do still think that like being able to kind of operate with, I think his best final three is a Taylor and a Brittany in his head because he thinks Taylor's hated and then Brittany he thinks that he can beat. But I agree with you in the fact that I think he wants Monty out. Like he wants to get Monty out.
100%. I think he wants to get. I think he wants to get Monty out.
And he should
Yeah.
eventually, but I don't know if this is the time. But then, Monty, I mean, Monty's a big threat, but he hasn't done and won as much as Michael has. You know what I mean? So, I
I
mean,
agree. I agree.
I,
Monty, I mean, Michael might be under the guise of like
yeah.
for him to plant the seed of Joseph with them two. It looks like in the back of his head there are these big guys. You know what I'm saying? And like
mhm.
last season we had big guys that got to the sixth. We had a Kai, we had an X who I mean, me myself coming into the game, if I did not have the cookout, I would in my audition videos, I said I want to get the big guys out. I want to get those Mickeys. I want to get those people out. If this is just if he has in the back of his head being afraid of those people getting in the end, those might be the people he views as threats to let's get them out, and then I think I'll be able to think clearer and be able to see the end of this game wherever. Possibly, I guess I'm playing devil's advocate, but I'm thinking that.
Well, I'm gonna throw this out there for devil's advocate because here is what I think is a very good possibility that Michael didn't think about. And again, I don't know why production isn't scared of this happening if they're leaving out that Michael and Terrence and Kyle conversation. What happens when these two sides merge And then it gets revealed because I think Terrence will sell out Kyle in a second. And then he's going to say, well, Michael said that I'm supposed to go after Joseph. So now you're going to have Turner, Taylor, Monty, if he's there, now all going, what, Michael? You told him? What about making it to the 7? And these are loyal people. Joseph is a loyal person. You're going to tell me Joseph's going to go to jury and then go, I'm going to reward Michael, the person who couldn't wait one more week like we agreed on, and instead created this like backstabby plan.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the problem of playing this type of game. Like, you want to play the snake game, you want to play the gamer, you got to be very, very careful. This whole split HOH, I mean, Michael's playing a great game right now, but it definitely it has a huge ability to kick him in the butt because, I mean, that's such a beautiful point that you made.
No, it's a great point.
Yeah.
He's screwed. He is screwed when they merge.
From what I've seen, Terrence is able to just like speak what the other person thinks he believes. And especially with him, if this game move is how I feel like it is, which in my opinion, I don't see as a bad game move. If I'm not even aligning in the first place, why am I going to go ahead and take out the person that everyone's doubting anyway? Let me go out and take out the person who I don't like, throw that person on the bus, and try and finagle my way in. And absolutely, I'm going to throw Michael in the bus too. Might as well. That's a whole other person that could be an option for a target, and I could sit pretty and skate my way to Final 5.
So Terrence could essentially like destroy the game for Michael.
He could.
Who's been such an underdog.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he could.
Bus driver, yo. Something about them Chi-Town bros.
He's from Chicago. That's another Drag Race reference. Yeah, no, I don't fault Terrence at all for what he's doing. I think I kind of have a little bit of Taylor in me where I would want to do stuff for television, where I would want to like play it up. So part of me, when he was nominating, I wish he just would have been like, I gave all of you the opportunity to tell me the truth, and only Kyle exposed the leftovers, and then just turned around and walked away. That would have been good, because I wanted to see them implode this whole week, then put them inside next week, and then let us do it all over again. And now I think we're only going to get it one time, or maybe we have it. We won't know since we're not allowed to watch outside because of wall yellers.
And I just gotta say this, as one who watched live feeds beforehand, I used to love the wall yellers. Now that I'm out the house, stop. Come on, man. Let them play the game. Let them play the game and let it play out. I just wanted to play out without any interruptions, without any type of I just remember, and to this day, I haven't really followed up on it, but there was, in our season, in the sky, they had a lockdown, and almost someone claimed that they saw SB written in the sky with a plane. I don't know if that was true or not.
Like the skywriting and stuff?
Yeah. Somebody said that they saw SB, and that was huge currency in the game that people just spun with. It just turned to a whole spiral of just wait, what? Somebody said they saw SB, and then they couldn't read the rest, and then they made us go inside. Did that happen? I still don't know if that happened.
I'm sure chat will tell me if that happened. I don't specifically remember that happening, but again, I don't remember.
And it was definitely used in gameplay with people people said SB knows Kylan. They know each other. They used to date, People and it's I want to.
It did happen. It did happen. Chad is saying it did happen. There was mention of it, but there was no confirmation. We heard you guys talking about it sometimes.
It affected the game. It affected the game. There was a whole rumor of SB and Kylan knowing each other. There was a whole SB literally hid in the corner for a good while, upset and angry about it. And I would rather just watch a game. Let me just watch the game.
Yeah. I always say I think it's ridiculous to interfere with the game, even if you don't like the people, because then if you're okay with it with someone that you hate, then I don't want to hear you complain about it when it's someone that you don't like is having their game ruined. It's not fair to you guys. They lock you down. They keep you inside. You get such little airtime. It really isn't great for, a lot of those reasons. All of that being said, if I was in the house, I know, or I'll say, allegedly, if I had to guess, production tries really hard to convince people that it's not true and you shouldn't pay attention to it. But historically, if we look back, all the wall yellers have been telling the truth. So if I was playing the game and I heard a wall yeller, I would probably go, okay, I'm going to believe that.
Yeah, I would. I would too. And that's why I believed, like, I was like, does Esme and Kylan know each other? Like, I thought, well, the thing, like, but the other thing too is, right, like, we, like, from this, I don't know from other things, but like, you might only hear a snippet. You might only hear, we only saw SB. That's all we saw. Or if that happened,
Mm-hmm.
So that gave us room to come up with whatever we had in our head because we have no lock on the outside. And like, as a wall yeller, you might have to understand, like, maybe if you're saying something along the lines of like, Kyle is a liar and please save Joseph. You might hear liar Joseph.
Right.
And you just ruined the whole game, bruh.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
thought you were helping, but you didn't.
I mean, if I allegedly knew someone that was going to play the game and we may have entertained the conversation of, if I was ever going to yell, what would I yell to you to make you know? And then 5 minutes into the conversation, we both looked at each other and I was like, I'm not smart enough to do this. Like, I swear to God, you will go in the house. I will forget what the right code word was to say. You will only hear part of it. I'm like, I'm not doing this. And by the way, just what you said, I would never want to live the rest of my life going, I yelled something, you heard it wrong, and then you lost $500,000. No, thank you. Nuh-uh. I'm not playing that game. No, thank you. I have a very important question, though, for you from chat, Azah, and it's very serious and very important, and we need to hear what you think about. We need your opinion on it. How long do you celebrate your birthday?
So I am interesting in the fact that a lot of times my birthday is on a weekday. So I literally try to act like my birthday didn't happen.
Okay.
And then I decide what my birthday's going to be. So it'll be like, okay, this year my birthday's going to be on the 17th. And I'm going to celebrate that day. Literally on my birthday, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to take a walk. I'm going to be whatever. I'm going to mind my business. But on the 17th, because it's a Friday, I'm going to go out. So I celebrate my birthday that day. I don't do a whole birthday month. Unless I'm going on a trip. If it's a trip, okay, it'll be a birthday trip. But I'm still going to designate the day that's my birthday. Yeah, so it's usually just a day. That's me.
Oh, okay, so I'm hearing that you are a normal adult and not a spoiled, rotten child. Got it. And I also hate to break it to you, all of our birthdays happen during the week. It moves each year. It's on a different day.
Right.
True.
I mean, Jasmine got a whole, like, I don't know if it's like I think she believes in like the Chinese calendar New Year where it's like the year of
Right.
the dragon, the year of the rabbit, and she's like, all right, well, it's
The year of the jazz.
Yeah, it's the year of
Jasmine.
Jasmine, like, yeah, maybe that's
It's the year of Jasmine. Yeah, I don't understand it either. As much as chat likes to tell me I have a birthday month, that's not true. I don't at all. And I don't love I don't like being the center of attention. Surprise! I don't like. I saw somebody say this. I think it might have been Big Brother Gossip on Twitter. But he said something like, "It's hysterical how I did not go out to dinner the week of my birthday because I was afraid that the people would embarrass me by having people sing. And then there's literally Jasmine who is demanding people put on full 5-minute performances for her." And I was like, that's so me. Like, I will not go out with people near my birthday because I'm afraid of the same thing.
she's a princess. She's quite a princess. Yeah, I have a princess friend, but she is a whole princess, yo. Quite a princess.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm just saying, I will not understand how when you have a nail business and you have all this, I don't understand why she's not promoting it.
Promoting it, yeah.
I don't understand. You're on TV 3 nights a week. You're on the live feeds. Why are you not promoting your business?
I agree. I would, and the thing is, I'm surprised in that because before the season, it looks like she had, I think, the most followers on anyone. And
No,
from
she's really popular. She's
yeah, looking at
popular.
her social media, it's like okay, you
Yeah.
definitely have that business mindset. And also I'm gonna say this, but like she was talking about someone that she's like, oh, this person did my hair, and she literally refused to say the name because she didn't want to give them free promotion.
Okay.
But
Interesting.
she literally said like, "Oh, I don't want to give her free promo, so I'm not going to say the name." I'm like, "Wow, you had enough cognizance to
Yeah.
do that, but you're not."
Yeah, promote your brand. And by the way, I hate when everyone is shoving their brands down your throat on the live feeds. Sorry, All Stars watchers. However, yeah, I'm just like, do it a little bit, Jasmine. You should like. Again, I can separate not liking Jasmine's personality and not liking Jasmine's game, and then also say, promote your business, girl. You're a
I
very
agree.
smart
I didn't work,
businesswoman.
yeah, I didn't have business promo, but my friend had a candle company. When I remembered it, I was like, "Get these candles," and I had people DM me like, "Oh my gosh, these candles!" Because they're really awesome. My friend's candles are really great. House of
Yeah.
Rashad. Sorry, I'm doing it right now.
No,
But
you
like,
do it. I'm saying
I
you should.
posted on the feed, I was like, oh, this, and then my bike club. Like, I was like, oh, my bike club, like things that are important to me. I made sure to do that, and so I am surprised. You're right. Like, I wonder why she hasn't.
And Turner's been good about it. Turner's been shouting out his rug
Oh,
business every
the rug,
live
yeah, his
show.
rug store with that hook gun thing that you can make rugs is amazing. So, Azah, we talked about the challenge a little bit, Big Brother. You're still kind of getting over it, but YouTube chat wants to know, Bing Bong, would you do Big Brother again?
Hell no. Oh, sorry. Not
I don't
never.
blame you.
I promise you, it's not worth the mental health for me. It was my favorite show going in. I loved the show. Loved the show. I loved everything about it. But for me, it's not worth the mental health. I don't think people understand how hard that show is, and the huge work you have to do on yourself to recover from it afterward. And some people haven't. And for me, it's not worth it. Challenge, do it any other day. But Big Brother was so, so, so hard. 85 days. I spent all 85 days in there. No, thank
Uh,
you. I'm sorry. It's a no for me, dog.
and again, I will make it be about me, and I realize it's not even the same thing, but I will say All Stars killed Big Brother for me. I still like talking about it, but kind of like how you said, I get like that anxiety. Like, I don't tweet as much as I do anymore. I don't have the interactions I had anymore. I so have PTSD, and I didn't play in this game. I just got fallout from other people playing the game. So it's just like I can't ever imagine what it is like for you guys, which is why I so respect it when, someone like you says you won't play, or someone like Nicole isn't talking about it all this season, or someone like Helen who was pushed goes, I'm out completely. Like, you're never even going to see me on social media ever again. By the way, Helen's doing great and says hi, everyone. Still talk to Helen all the time. Yeah, it's just, I don't think anybody will understand the psychological effects of
Yeah.
Big Brother. I really think it just mind fucks people.
It's a
Yeah.
nightmare. I mean, I struggled in it, but I mean, come on, 85 days you're having to like lie to people and build these bonds just to stab them in the back and then call it a game. When you're like, think about it, 85 days you're spending in that house, like you are introduced to this entire new reality. You have no choice but to accept these people as your friends and things. But each week somebody has to die. That's how we see it. They die. And you gotta sit there and make bonds with people while you watch people die. Like, no. I'm good.
I think the worst thing for me, and I don't know if this is I got older, because I feel like I grew up with Big Brother. I feel like I went from 20 to 40 on with Big Brother of my age. And as I got older, and so much more almost in the past 5 years, I don't understand how you guys, I get it's a game. I don't understand how you all go in the real world and then are just like, you had no problem outright lying to my face and I believed you. So like now when we're in the real world and you're like, I want, a salad for dinner. And you gotta go, do you really want a salad for dinner? Or you're just saying you want a salad for dinner?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just the blatant lying, which again I understand is the game. I think that is what would mind fuck me outside of the game. Just going, I believed everything you said to me.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who speak of not being able to trust things. I've had my problems with that, and there's a reason why I played the game that I did. A lot of people think, oh, you're such a good person. No, I just felt like shit. I felt horrible, like doing this to people, and I couldn't like. I knew that outside the game, I'd love to make a final two with Brittany, but she kept on talking about this final two, and I finally tell her, I can't make a final two with you. She didn't understand. She's like, why the hell can you make a final two with me? I never made alliances with people because I felt bad. I just felt bad. I'm like, how can I sit there and make this alliance when I know that I'm not gonna honor this? Like it made me feel horrible. And I was just like, it wasn't worth it for me. I felt horrible. I just felt bad, and like I couldn't do it. And I get it now. Like whether you say I'm not made for this game, I had to adjust the game the way I could. I had to do it the way I could for me to leave with my mental health intact because it was hard. It was
more importantly, you've moved on to the challenge. Do not go backwards. Do not go back down in the prize pool. You will now stay in that challenge prize pool.
In that bracket, yeah.
Yeah, because that's a bit more transparent. Like, I can freely tell people, I don't want you here. I want you to go home. And guess what? The most they can do is throw me into the pit. I show my worth and I come out. It's not by a vote, It's me. Yep. I'm in control of my own destiny. And that's what I love about it. Mm-hmm. And I love that much more. And do not worry. I promise you guys. I apologize if there's another All-Stars. It ain't going to be me, guys. Okay?
It will be sad because we did, like I said, watching this season of feeds has made me miss so much of the fun that the cookout brought. I was like, does anybody want to sing? Does anybody just put on a show? Does anybody want to do it? No, we're going to do Chinese checkers again for 4 hours? Okay. All right, 4 hours of Chinese check the whole time?
Or even what, was it the blue couch?
The big blue couch, John.
Yeah, we had a lot of great. We had a whole Baby Love Island. We had a whole Blind Love with Azah. We had that cast. Our cast had so much chemistry, and we just fed off each other and made some really great things. Like, I'm very blessed and fortunate to have been part of that cast. It was as much of a traumatic experience to me. It was also a summer of memories. So, it was great trauma.
And Do What You Gotta Do will always be the #1 song of last summer. We gotta do what you gotta do. I know, we loved it. Who do you, before we wrap up, so many people are asking, who do you hope wins this season?
I love Taylor. I empathize with her in so many ways. But I gotta say it's a three-peat for me. So Taylor, Turner, Joseph. I hope Joseph makes it out. I like loyal games, and that they three I think have shown the most of playing a loyal game. I prefer them, and I think those are the hardest games to be able to succeed in as well. It's very easy to lie to anybody. It's very easy to just like do whatever. But a loyal game, I'm always gonna honor that, and I really want to see a loyal game make to the end. So Taylor, Turner, Joseph. Love them all.
Well, I agree. I would be thrilled with any of those. I think we all have the same fear for Joseph this week, that I don't know how he gets out of it.
Yeah.
I don't know how he gets out of it. And I don't want Turner to go either. So I also think this is a shout out to alternates. Let's stop making amazing players be alternates. Because, Joseph was an alternate.
Right.
I mean, I can't believe we would have we could have not had Joseph this season. It's crazy to me.
We could have not had leftovers, whom I still credit as starting the alliance. He set the
Yeah.
ball rolling, you know. We could have not had that, you know. So much credit to him. I really like him. I like him a lot. I just, oh, he just love.
He's the best.
Yeah,
He's the
loyal.
best.
He's really loyal. I love that. Yeah.
I love him too. Azah, where do you want people to follow you on social media? And what are you up to? Is there anything we should be following, keeping up with you on?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram. You can follow me Wonderful World of Oz, on Twitter and TikTok. It's Azah_Awasome. In terms of what I'm up to, I do have some things in the works. I'm currently working with a personal trainer, and I'm coming up with a challenge style, both meal and workout plan. So
that.
keep an eye out for that coming up soon. I also have a cooking course coming out as well, and I have some culinary endeavors that I have under my sleeve that I'm hoping to get up at the end of the year. So keep in touch, guys.
I love how Azah is the queen of marketing posting. She's like, I did that show and I have the cookbook. Did I do the challenge? It's the cookbook and the workout. I want to get Azah on Celebrity Drag Race. Then she's going to be like, I have the recipes and my new makeup line.
I love Drag Race, so get me on there. I'm down.
I know. The new celebrity one. I don't know how I'm feeling about it yet, but
Ooh, I need to get into it.
Yeah, I need to start it too.
It's difficult to get into. They changed the format. It's like the Masked Singer thing now, and I don't know how I feel about it.
No, I don't like that. I don't like that.
Yeah, they took away a lot of the feelings, but we thank you so much, Azah, for taking time out tonight, coming and hanging out with us. Comedy Jonah, any final thoughts?
No, it's always a pleasure hanging out with Azah. We learn so much. We have these rich conversations. I love it. So thank you, Azah. It's always a pleasure chatting with you.
You guys are such beautiful, amazing interviewers. It never feels like an interview. It's always a conversation. So hats off to you guys.
Oh, thank you.
We love you, Azah. We will see all of you guys tomorrow. I'm live every day. We'll see you guys then.
One more thing. I
have
the finale party for Big Brother in LA on the 25th on a Sunday. It is in LA, yes. I'm trying to plan a Chicago one on the 15th, but I'm having trouble finding a venue. But just letting you know. And I would love for you guys to come out, but I understand if you can't. But just letting you guys know.
I got to have the New York City premiere with you, Azah. That was good. That was good. All right, everyone. So we will retweet that. I'll put the links to all of Azah's socials. All of the stuff that we talked about will be below this video wherever you guys are watching it. And we'll see you guys on the next show. Bye for now, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, friends.